everybody. I'm Rachel, Teen Services Manager from the Frankfort Community Public Library, and I am here to tell you about the book, The Journey of Little Charlie by Christopher Paul Curtis. Christopher Paul Curtis is a Newbery Medal winner, and this book is also an honor book for the National Book Award. And I wanted to read you a portion of the Goodreads description so that you could know a little bit about what the book is about. So, 12-year-old Charlie is down on his luck. His sharecropper father just died, and Captain Buck, the most fearsome man in Possum Moan, South Carolina, has come to collect a debt. Fearing for his life, Charlie strikes a deal with Captain Buck and agrees to track down some folks accused of stealing from the captain and his boss. It's not too bad of a bargain for Charlie until he comes face to face with fugitives and discovers their true identities. Torn between his guilty conscience and his survival instincts, Charlie needs to figure out his next move, and soon. It's only a matter of time before Captain Buck catches on. So this book is really, really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. I wanted to tell you a little bit about, just read some portions of something I wrote about it so you can understand a little bit what I felt about it. Okay, the novel, The Journey of Little Charlie, is truly a modern masterpiece. In this book, Christopher Paul Curtis nails dialect in the vein of Mark Twain. There are few writers who can do this and do it this well. Remarkably, Curtis manages to write the villain as a human. Rather than the narration of a slave catcher, the reader is introduced to a young boy who was enculturated to assume someone of a different color was not as human as himself. Probably the most remarkable part of the story was when Charlie realized that Sylvanus was a young teenage boy with parents who loved him. Charlie's thoughts explain. I kept having doubts. I've always been told they ain't the same as us. They don't feel the things like white people do. They don't love their kids the same. They don't love nothing but ducking, work, and sleeping. I've always been told they ain't even got souls. So, the author in this story, like, he does not cut corners at all. And some of the things that you read in it are really hard to read, and they bear on your soul. There are points that they talk about violence that's very detailed, and you're not going to forget it. But the thing is that this is stuff that really happened. This is stuff that is affecting how our world operates today, and racist acts that are happening today. And so a book like this is really, really important, and it's really important to go ahead and read the parts that are hard to read, and follow a narrative where you're just like, I wrote on here about how we are put into Charlie's mind like as almost like a stream of consciousness. We're just like allowed into his thoughts and his mind, and to kind of see things from his perspective. And it encourages you to look at people from and not to judge them from anything but for who they are. And it's just such a great book. And I wanted to read a little portion of it just so you could kind of hear the dialect in it, because it's really interesting. And by the way, this book is available on Libby from my FCPL. So it's something that you could check out or put on hold and get to reading right away. So here's a little bit of the dialect. So hopefully I can read it well enough. He decided to start talking to me again. When you come in someone else's backyard, you gotta show them some respect and let them know what you're up to. I've been told the sheriff ain't no Yankee, so we might be in luck. We found the sheriff's office and pushed open the building's door and went in. Sitting round a desk that was covered with newspapers and a cut-in-half tin can filled up with cigar butts was two men. One was stout and old, and the other one was younger and skinny and stingy looking. The captain said, "Evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?" The old man set his newspaper down, grinned wide, and said, "I ain't doing nowhere nears as good as y'all. From the song of your voice, y'all must have left South Carolina an hour or so ago. I ain't been down home in 23 years, so you knows you're doing better'n me." So it's really fun to read, and I completely recommend reading it out loud because it's fun to hear how the words sound coming out of your mouth, written in the way that Curtis has written them. And I think this would be a super book to read out loud with your family, and everybody could maybe take turns reading a chapter here and there. So that is my take on The Journey of Little Charlie by Christopher Paul Curtis, available from ISCPL. And have a great day. Bye.